Thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation to be with you tonight. You know, I could give you many economic arguments to stay in, based on the investment that we get in this country for being a member of the European Union, based on the jobs that it creates, based on the trade that we have and the benefits that come from it. But I don't think those are the main arguments in this debate at all. And I think that if we vote to quit, it will be because people in this country know so very little about the European Union. How many people know, for example, that major successes in our film industry, films like The King's Speech, were possible only because of European Union cultural support? Or that low-cost airlines exist thanks to policies agreed at European level? How many people know that European Union action has halved the amount that banks can charge to businesses when their customers pay by credit card? Saved small businesses in this country about 17 billion a year. How many people know that part-time workers have a right to paid holidays thanks to the European Union's treaties? Or that when Islamic terrorists put bombs on the buses and tube trains in London, we were able to call on blood supplies from right across the continent because of a European Union directive? How many people know that we've overtaken Germany as the major recipient of European Union science funding? Or that the world's major space program is run no longer by the Americans, but by the European Union? And if Major Tim Peake is up in space playing with his robotic tractors, it's not because he's British, it's because we are part of the European Space Agency. You know, the European Union is a bit like Benjamin Britten's music. It's not as bad as it sounds. Despite the fact that you have 28 countries speaking 24 different languages, actually it works, and actually it works as a democracy. And I can tell you, because I had the privilege of serving in one of its two houses of parliament for 20 years. Our economy is stronger thanks to the freer trade that we get from being in the European Union. Our society is safer thanks to police and judicial cooperation. Let me give you one example. You will remember, because it was in this county in Sussex, there was a teacher called Jeremy Forrest absconded a couple of years ago with a 15-year-old schoolgirl to France. And what did we do? We issued a European arrest warrant and we mobilized the whole of the French police force to find that teacher. And fortunately, we got the girl back unharmed. You can never do that if you were outside the European Union. Our environment... No, that is a European arrest warrant, and it's a measure which I took
57 years ago.
Our environment is cleaner thanks to common standards, and we are on the winning side of the most important arguments in Brussels. And as a result, our people have opportunities undreamt of by our parents' generation. I don't know what, and please don't shout rubbish, listen to what I have to say. I don't know what your histories are in this room, but I can tell you that I was born into a family of 6 children on a small island off the west coast of Scotland in the 1950s. Neither of my parents had had a chance to go to university. We were a low-income family. My brothers and sisters and I have had opportunities in life that our parents and our grandparents could never have had. Why? Because their generation had the good sense to put the mortar of the European Union around the bricks of NATO, consolidating peace and making sure that we had a successful economy. Why would you want to leave the European Union when the European Union is able to take on American corporate giants like Microsoft and Google when they exploit their monopoly power in a way that no national government could ever do? Why would you want to leave when English has finally ousted French as the language of European government? Go to Brussels, even the lifts speak English. Why would you want to stop a brilliant Italian coming here and doing amazing things with Leicester City Football Club? Or repatriate the Brit who runs the European Union's police agency? Why would you deny our citizens or deny yourselves the automatic right to live, study, marry, work, retire, buy property, even seek hospital treatment if you need it in any other European country. And you know, if I despair of those conservatives who want to pull us out, it's because their predecessors had the foresight to create the European Union in which the great tribes of Europe now live at peace with each other. And I think we need to cherish and to develop what Churchill called a wider patriotism and a common citizenship. I think we need to recognize, as Margaret Thatcher did, her words, that signing treaties with our neighbours is an exercise of sovereignty, not a derogation from it. She may have talked the language of bashing Johnny Foreign, but she signed the most federalising treaty there has ever been, the Single European Act that created the single market. And if I despair of Labour quitters, it is because the European Union has done so much for the rights of working people in this country. Now you might say, be like Norway. Yeah, look at the Norwegians. They have to pay to be there, they have to obey, they get no say whatsoever in the framing of the laws. You might be told, well, if we come out, you can put a stop to migration. But look, half of all the migrants we get are not from the European Union, they're from beyond. The migrants come here because there are jobs. And if workers can't come to where the jobs are, you can be damn sure that the companies and the investment will go to where the workers are.
Well, the wages will rise.
Vote Leave campaigners might dream of a land of hope and glory, but I wouldn't bet on it. I think it could be bargain basement Britain, undercutting the continentals in everything from workers' rights to environmental safety standards, just to remain competitive. It could mean Europe fragmenting again under a wave of nationalism. And it would certainly mean Britain's economy taking a hit. And that's why I will be voting to stay.